It's a bird, it's a plane, it's a $45 million ego trip. This weekend in Washington, D.C., something deeply unsettling is set to unfold. It's being marketed as a patriotic celebration, the 250th anniversary of the United States Army. But let's be clear, this is not just another military commemoration. This is a $45 million spectacle, carefully choreographed to coincide with Donald Trump's 79th birthday. And if you're wondering who footed the bill, the answer is you, the American taxpayer. While military parades aren't new, the scale, timing, and political undertone of this event mark a departure from American norms. It's not a salute to the troops, it's a salute to Trump himself, cloaked in patriotism and rolled out on the streets of the nation's capital. And in a nation facing mounting debt, slashed social services, and widespread protests, the decision to greenlight such an event is not just tone-deaf, it's dangerous. A vanity project disguised as patriotism. Let's unpack what this birthday party looks like. The event includes over 6,600 active duty soldiers, 150 military vehicles and aircraft, and a planned route through the heart of DC featuring tanks, flyovers, and marching troops. This kind of display isn't typical in American celebrations, not even during major wars. In fact, the last time a similar display was attempted was in 1991, after the Gulf War. That parade, held under George H.W. Bush, cost $12 million and received criticism for its authoritarian overtones. Trump has wanted a parade since 2017, after witnessing France's Bastille Day celebration during a visit to Paris. But while Bastille Day commemorates the birth of democracy in France, Trump's parade seems to do the opposite. It mimics the performative authoritarianism of nations like North Korea, China, or Russia. The goal appears not to inspire unity but to glorify the president himself. Let's do the math. $45 million, the projected cost of the parade, with most of that borne by the Pentagon. For comparison, that's enough to fund 30,000 children in Head Start programs for a year. It could provide 1.2 million meals through SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or it could help pay for over 400 college scholarships under the Pell Grant Program. Yet instead, those funds will support fuel for fighter jets, flatbed trucks to carry tanks down Pennsylvania Avenue, and temporary housing for soldiers stationed near Capitol Hill. According to officials, troops will be sleeping on cots in government buildings and eating MREs, meals ready to eat, all for the privilege of participating in a parade they didn't ask to be part of. Their per diem, $69 a day. A strangely specific amount, and one that reflects the Muskian absurdity that has increasingly permeated Trump-era politics. Elon Musk, who shares a close relationship with Trump, has often joked about the number 69 online, treating it as a punchline. Now, whether intentional or not, the soldiers in Trump's military spectacle are being handed the same number as compensation for their involvement in a parade that's more about spectacle than service. What about the weather and the protest? Meteorologists predict rain this weekend in D.C., but the real storm is political. As Trump throws himself a parade, Americans across the country are preparing for mass protests. Many are aimed at Trump's immigration policies, especially the latest wave of ICE raids targeting undocumented immigrants. Others are protesting recent moves by the administration to strip healthcare from millions and push legislation that would expand the federal deficit by billions. And here's where the contradiction becomes unbearable. On one hand, Trump claims to fight for fiscal responsibility and often targets programs that benefit the working class, like food stamps or subsidized health care, saying they cost too much. On the other hand, he's orchestrating a one-day event that costs more than what entire federal programs spend in a month. This is what political gaslighting looks like in real time. Why do you hate America? When critics speak out against the parade, they're accused by the right of being anti-American. If you love this country, why wouldn't you want to show its strength, is the refrain. But, strength isn't about tanks and helicopters. Strength is really about how you treat your people, especially the most vulnerable. Loving your country doesn't mean worshipping its leaders. It means holding them accountable when they betray democratic principles. The right-wing outrage machine didn't always feel this way. When President Obama modestly increased the minimum wage for federal contractors, conservative pundits like Judge Jeanine Pirro and Glenn Beck warned of dictatorial overreach. Beck even warned Obama could become America's first dictator. The hypocrisy becomes honestly blinding when those same voices remain silent, or worse, cheer, when Trump literally calls for terminating parts of the Constitution, silencing the media, or strong-arming the Supreme Court. When Obama spent on healthcare, conservatives cried socialism. When Trump spends $45 million on a glorified flex for his birthday, they call it patriotism. This isn't about the troops. Let's be crystal clear, opposition to this parade is not opposition to the military. Our military personnel serve with honor, and honestly they deserve recognition. But using them as political props to celebrate a president's ego is not honor, it's exploitation. These are trained professionals, not participants in a dictator's theater. They serve the Constitution, not the man occupying the Oval Office. And yet here we are, watching a president align himself with totalitarian aesthetics, turning government resources into personal party favors. The march already happened, and we missed it. This parade is not the beginning of something dangerous, it's the confirmation that we are already there. We are witnessing the normalization of authoritarian behavior, celebrated with cheers and taxpayer-funded confetti. The tanks rolling down DC are not just props, they are symbols, not of strength, but of submission, not of celebration, but of distraction. Because while Americans struggle with the cost of living, healthcare, education, and climate change, the man in charge is too busy throwing himself a birthday party that you paid for. And if you're not outraged yet, then maybe the next parade won't be about his birthday, it'll be about his coronation. If you value independent journalism and want to stay informed on stories like this, subscribe. Your voice, your awareness, and your attention are the last defense against the normalization of authoritarianism. Thanks for watching.